Sports fans.
Sports lovers.
Welcome back to another episode, Global Sports from a Caribbean Perspective. As usual, I'm your host, Prime. I'm not here with
Shaba.
and
Gaps.
are we here to bring you best games, the best teams, the best players, the best takes on global sports from a Caribbean perspective. Wasting no time at all. We are jumping right in. We got some action from the round of 16 in the Champions League to talk about. We got some T20 World Cup Final action to recap and a few man of the match awards from some amazing performances in football and basketball over last week. We're getting right into it. And we're kicking things off as usual with this day in sporting history. Today, March the 12th, 2006, South Africa and Australia played out potentially the most iconic one-day game of all time. Were you there? Do you remember this game? Well, let's tell you about it. Right? They chased a mammoth 434 for 4 made by the Aussies. A certain Ricky Ponting with about 164 of 105 balls. I mean, crazy performance, right? Another 175 of 111 balls by your brethren.
Horschel Gibbs.
All right, and they won the game with a ball to spare, winning the series 3-2. Just classic. Just classic
Childhood memories, man.
Australia type performance. Just the yellow outfits, the energy, Ricky Ponting, just iconic performances. Moving on to basketball, a certain high scoring basketball game, and we have to talk about another high scoring basketball game later. But the Chiller Vanilla, Larry Bird, 60-point game, 1985. Legend set the Boston Celtics franchise record by dropping 60 points on Atlanta Hawks head top. He scored 32 of those in just 14 minutes in the second half. Iconic performance by the Bird. And that was this day in history. Some action from cricket, some action from basketball. We want to get right into it with the action though. In football, Champions League time. Sing it with me, Dappy. This is the Champions. Come on. Round of 16 action. First match. Galatasaray in Turkey. Never a nice place to go, and Liverpool found that out. 1-0. Hot one. Lemina was the match winner for Galatasaray. They took Liverpool down. I remember us saying in the match prediction that we can see in this particular tie, Liverpool having a tough time in Turkey, and that they did. The midfielders first half header split the two sides at Rams Park. It was actually an encounter. Some big chances, 30 shots, 2 disallowed goals. Liverpool have now, however, lost 12 games in all competitions this season when conceding the opening goal. And if we are to go by that next week, Wednesday, that might probably be a problem if we go 1-0 down again at Anfield. We should up.
I could see a completely different game at Anfield,
Mhm.
especially a Champions League round of 16 tie. Anfield will move, of course, as the 12th man and would be roaring behind the guys. And I'll be looking for a better performance from Ekitike and the likes up front, and should be a comfortable.
Should be comfortable. Shaba, what's your take on the game itself? This first
Much credit to Galatasaray because this is the second time for the season they've met Liverpool at their home stadium and defeated them by the same scoreline. So it's not a fluke. They deserve their performance and probably should have scored more as well. There was a disallowed goal that I didn't quite understand why it was offside, but later when the rules expert explained it, it became a bit more clear. Also, Liverpool had a disallowed goal. So, but for the most part, the game was a bit of low quality. Not
Let the cage.
four big chances in a 90 minute span. Not the best spectacle. But Galatasaray would definitely fancy their chances going to Anfield, I would say.
Definitely. Moving over straight to Italy, Atalanta had quite a challenge in hosting Bayern Munich. We know Bayern is one of the best teams in the competition this year. That you have them touted to go all the way. They put one foot in the Champions League quarterfinals. Basically, Michael Olise starring for the Bundesliga leaders. 6-1 over Atalanta. This tie over, Shab?
Yeah, and I don't think it's much of a surprise based on the quality that Bayern have shown thus far this season. Much credit to Vincent Company for the way he has the team playing. Michael Olise is one of the best players in the world right now. Harry Kane wasn't even present. Didn't even need to play a single minute, and they won without him 6-1 in Italy. So much credit to Company and his men.
Yeah. Dapi, Olise scored twice. He grabbed an assist as well. Stantonich, Nabry, Jackson, Musiala, all on target. Who do you see stopping this machine?
Well, that's a tough question. I really believe that they have all it takes to win their side of the bracket and probably win it all. But with the magic that we've been seeing, we've seen recently, you never know. It's football's a crazy game, but yeah, I think they have what it takes to go all the way.
All right. Another high scoring encounter as we move over to Spain. Atletico Madrid silencing what I would say a bit of the pre-match narrative with regards to La Liga versus the Premier League. And if Atletico were to lose this game, what does it mean for La Liga? 5-2. 5-2. Obviously, at least three of those were.
He did have it.
Hey,
Still not finished.
hey, you get a goal. You get a goal.
Still not finished.
If you're feeling down, I'm not sure what it was. Let me just talk about the game. Kingsley on his Champions League debut.
Tough.
It tough. I don't want to pile on the goalkeeper, right? But it's a night to forget for him, for sure. But not a night to forget for the rest of the watching world, unfortunately. His two errors, yes, within 15 minutes, he was off the pitch. It was what, 3
3-0.
3-0?
Just under 3-0. When Atleti went up 3-0, it was 15 minutes gone on the clock. And that was the quickest a team ever went up 3-0 in a knockout match in Champions League history.
Tottenham making all the wrong history right
I'm
now.
watching goal zone and I ain't seen no goal from Atletico. I like and you're seeing it to the side coming,
Yeah.
but you ain't seen no visual. And like, what going on over there?
In terms of any kind of tactical breakdown, I don't think you could get much from this game based on the individual errors that allowed Atleti, a clear path. I suppose they claw back too.
Yeah.
So you just never know, like that mentioned.
Yeah, the most you could say is that Atletico did press aggressively. Spurs tried to play out from the back but I pretty sure, bro. I pretty sure that in training we practice these kind of scenarios where we try to build up against a high pressing team and Kinski
play the ball.
in goal, probably faced a few of these scenarios. So I can't imagine that there weren't any signs in training like you
He
press
can't handle
Kinski
the
and he can't handle it. So the coach putting him out there and especially at the Metropolitano and him having to face that, I think he should get as much beating as Kinski did.
Yeah, Vicar should have definitely.
Speaking of the coach putting him in that position, what do you guys think about him substituting him 15 minutes gone? I mean, Vicario came on and it didn't really do much of a difference. The game ended 5-2. So they went on to concede 2 goals.
The
To their credit,
the
they got 2
decision
back.
to bring on Vicario after is basically him admitting that he made a mistake and the Kinski's confidence was already down under the ground. So to avoid any further slippages or any kind of thing. But something about Atletico Madrid Park and that end and slipping and something they do to that park. Because even when Barca played
A lot of
slippages, and I could it's something. It's
I'm waiting on the part with
Happy game later.
with a man upon some ice kind of tactics, some ice.
something. It's not the first time we've seen it at this stadium. But credit to them for the victory nonetheless.
Stats, man. Some stats to the credit of La Liga.
Yeah, this is the first time that Madrid have scored four first half goals in a Champions League game, and they are the second Spanish team to do so after Barca did it. For Spurs, though, this is the first time in the entire history that they've lost 6 games in a row in all competitions. So things not looking good for the Lily Whites.
Not looking rough for Spurs and not looking so great for the Premier League. We head over to England. Newcastle 1, Barcelona 1, sharing the spoils. Late Lamine Yamal penalty, last kick of the game. Some would say a little bit over into the allotted 4 minutes of extra time. But Barca coming away with a draw to take back to the new camp. Harvey Barnes, though, I thought he might have done enough to give Newcastle that win and give them more of an advantage going into the camp the next week. But given the balance of the game, I'd have to say that they're definitely going to get chances next week. It's just to say if our attack can perhaps find that spirit from the second leg versus Atletico Madrid and play them off the park. But we'll see. What's your impression of the game, Lappy?
Yeah, it was a good game. For neutral, I would say. Lamine didn't get much joy for the most part. I think Lewis Hall did a really good job in dealing with him. A little later in the game, there was some bright sparks from him, but for the most part, he was quiet. Newcastle played direct. There was a good mixture of intricate football as well, with the likes of, you have Tonali and those kind of guys in the team. They will try to play some football. And yeah, I like how they were physical. I think with a bit more quality, they could have done a bit more damage, especially with the likes of Ilanga. I would say wasting time on the right. He was stretching Barcelona, played in a quality ball 1 or 2 times, but I think that there was a bit more quality required there to really do some damage. So as I say, all in all, a good game. Lack of concentration later on for them to give away the penalty, and I think it's a deserved result.
The goal did come from that right hand side, though. If I could say any of this more vulnerable to that style of direct play, it would have been that right hand side. We know we were without our 2 fullbacks, starting fullbacks for this game. I got to talk about him. You're not getting away, Mr. Araujo.
Oh boy.
Mr. Araujo. Bro. Cabeza, amigo. Cabeza, right? You are the captain, El Capitan. Why is this?
Trying to scoot back on the field.
Oh, why is this? why is this?
I remember.
It's right after that the goal score. He feigning injury.
Pretending to be injured.
To waste time.
Back on the field, wasting time.
Basically playing for an injury.
Ignoring what the referee said, then you did arguing with the referee on the touchline. On the opposite side of the field. He then behind the goalkeeper for Newcastle. Waiting to come on. Then all right, I waste all this time, the game done ahead of me. What do I need to do? As the captain, as the defender. Get back in position, run back, get back there. And the sad thing about it, he reached. But he reached just in time to just have a perfect view. Watch him. Ball coming in. Harvey Barnes running in. In his position, where he's supposed to be. But Harvey Barnes running in. Goal, he just did a stand up on the edge of the box.
But I think as well, Rafinha should be flocked too.
Yeah, Rafinha didn't have a great game. He's not been having
I think it's just in that moment.
A poor run.
Yeah, just in that moment there, because he was the guy closest to Harvey Barnes and he was more ball watching. I mean, he's not a defender, of course, but at the same time, you must have that awareness in the box. When you're defending across, you must.
I get it, but given his intensity, how much he does give for the team, I can't flag him for a man being out of position and he just trying to take up this time. That's how he ended up in the position in the first place. His willingness to defend and his willingness to assist the team. So given that Araujo out of position, Rafinha obviously recognizing that on his side of the field is tracking back and doing what he's supposed to do. He didn't do great in the one-on-one situation. We could say he could have done a little better, but my qualm is with the 6 foot plus, strapping Uruguayan centre back / right back, and captain of the team who's supposed to just up here, Jed. I ain't even talking. Man, things happen. I would rather he run back and breaking he busting the lungs trying to reach back and Barnes just, dancing. Better he been get through there. I might not be so upset. But it's always something. And it's always him, right?
I guess every European doesn't have the same mentality.
But, yet another Premier League team coming up against a La Liga team and no victory. Even though they got a draw. Another Premier League team with a draw. But they were away. Arsenal facing Leverkusen. 1-1. Kai Havertz came back to haunt his former club. His late penalty helped Arsenal to salvage a 1-1 draw in their first leg of their Champions League. Its last 16 encounter with Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen looked like they were going to stun them here now and take something to the Emirates. But, Andre took the header. But I guess, calm and collected from Havertz in the end too. To make sure that next week.
Yeah, they
Level playing field.
They did look like they were gonna, win 1-0 and then just go to the Emirates. But that Madueke sub really changed the game. He really made a big impact. I mean, besides the penalty, he was really running at them, and the penalty was just really, I feel like, tired legs and lack of focus. All in all, from the defender, but just great credit to Madueke for pushing the game and seeing what he could get out of it. Arsenal don't normally concede corners. I think they conceded 4 in the Premier League, so it's not a team who we know for conceding corners. So it was really poor from them. But the setup was crazy too because everybody did front post. Everyone in the literally run front post and left all the Leverkusen players at the back. So it was really funny to see. It's not the Premier League.
You can't
It's not the Premier League.
You can't.
And speaking of which, I guess I'll get to that in the next.
In the next. Okay, no problem. Shab, your predicted finalists and perhaps winners. Not with a good showing here, but not doing a lot of damage to their hopes of advance.
No, they'll most likely advance at the Emirates, but this is just a case of more of what we've been seeing over the past few weeks with them failing to break down teams from open play. And that was exposed big time against a mediocre Bundesliga team. If we're being honest, they're not in the top 5. They're not in the top 4 currently in the Bundesliga, so they're not necessarily a team flying on all cylinders. Arsenal also rested the majority of their starters over the weekend and the FA Cup, so everyone came in fresh. And if this is what their best is, in a way, UCL tied, it certainly doesn't bode well for them going forward because they'll face stiffer challenges, of course. Saka seems to be, I don't want to say past his best, but he's not looking like he was a few years ago. To say the least, I don't know if the amount of football he's played so far at a young age is now catching up to him. Plus the over dependency on him over the past few years before they bought Madueke this season is catching up to him because Madueke came on and looked really electric compared to what Saka was doing before he went off. So it's gonna be some tough decisions for Arteta going forward because benching Saka would certainly be something. But just in the immediate, Arsenal should go through at the Emirates.
Should go through. All right, moving on to Dappy's favorite team in the competition.
Boy, I feel like I should just buy a Bodo shot.
Bodo! Bodo!
Bodo never too.
Bodo! Boy, wait, hold on. I'll hear the violins. You hear the bells, you hear the whistles. The fairy tale continues for Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. They are ever so close to a quarter-final board with this 3-0 win over Sporting. Fet, Lombard, and
Hog.
all on target at the stadium, giving the Norwegian side a huge advantage heading into the second leg, last 16 time. Shaba, how much credit do we give to Bodo Glimt for this this
a million,
spectacular run.
a million and one, a million and one.
How much praise can we heap on this team?
Infinity,
And how far can they go?
Infinity and the sky is literally the limit because they fear absolutely no team. They play their style regardless of who is the opponent. This is now their fifth consecutive Champions League win in a row. They still haven't played a league fixture since early November, and that's actually crazy because their only other preparation would have been like behind closed doors type friendlies. So their highest intensity games have come in the Champions League versus Atletico Madrid, Man City, Inter Milan twice, and now Sporting Lisbon, who finished in the top 8. And just on that top 8, no team, the only team from the top 8 who finished in the top 8 to win this week was Bayern Munich. So think about that when we're thinking about this whole new format thing as well. Teams that slug it out so hard to finish in the top 8 to get that advantage in this round. Only one of those
them
teams
have actually won.
So you understand? So Sporting certainly have a big hill to climb. I don't want to say it's completely over because as Dappy mentioned, we've seen some crazy things in football, but Bodo certainly have the momentum.
Would you say the teams that have made it through the playoff rounds are a little bit more prepared for this knockout phase going into it, Dappy? We're seeing some great performances from the teams that had to go through playoffs.
Yeah, I would say so. The playoffs has given them a really good dress rehearsal, you could say, as to what to expect. I mean, it was all or nothing then, and it's still all or nothing now. While all the teams who proceeded from the top 8 and kicked up their feet for a little while, people had to walk out here, So yeah, I feel like it, kicked some of these teams into another gear, up the tempo a little bit, and the teams who have been, sitting and waiting to really start the knockout run,
Have some maybe have a little bit of
catching up to do. Yeah,
will be interesting to see these stats on it in like a few years, to see like the winners have come in the top 8.
Well, we know Liverpool famously finishing top.
PSG almost
last
didn't
year,
qualify for the playoffs last year and won. So
and Liverpool finished top and got knocked out
eliminated.
almost immediately. So I guess we'll see where it's going. Speaking of PSG, over to the Parc des Princes. 5-2 over Chelsea. Chelsea have a lot of work to do at the bridge next week. Kvaratskhelia scoring twice and assisting another one rather late on, to be honest. PSG winning over Chelsea, getting a bit of early revenge for that Club World Cup defeat, and they're in the driver's seat in this Champions League, last 16 tie.
yeah, but the scoreline doesn't reflect the way the game unfolded, unfortunately, for Chelsea. They were really in this game and gave Paris all that they could handle. This is not the same PSG team of last season that we remember, swept through the knockout stages and got all the way to the final and won. This is a different team and they seem to be more vulnerable at the back. Whereas they seemed a bit more watertight last season with the same, and it's the same back four, well, except for Donnarumma. So maybe that is the reason they are looking so shaky now that I really said it out loud. So credit to Chelsea for the way they performed. I would say that Liam Rosenior was let down because you can't account for your keeper making mistakes like what Philip Jorgensen did for Chelsea, right? And without those mistakes, maybe the game would have been a bit more closer and it would have been more of a contest going into the game at the bridge. So PSG's firepower though, the likes of Barcola, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Gonzalo Ramos, that's what is gonna take PSG as far as they could go this year, not the defense.
Dappy, it was Barcola, then Malo Gusto, it was Dembele, then Enzo Fernandez, and then Vitinha and Cava obviously did their thing in the end. Do you think Chelsea could respond at the bridge or probably a better game from the likes of Pedro?
Yeah, I think they can. They were really going to with PSG until the mistake from Jorgensen, and I think that really punched the wind out of their sails. So with the bridge behind of them and hopefully with a good start, and they have the quality with the likes of the Enzo Fernandez, the Caicedo, João Pedro, especially who's been on a heater, Cole Palmer, who's I think has been up and down, but they need the best of Cole in order to really succeed or prevail. So
Do something.
yeah, if
Only
they do pull
goal.
it, if they do pull it off, I really can't see them getting more than 3 though. I honestly see them, going to extra time if they do get to the 3 goals.
Get to the 3 goals. Yeah, stopping PSG from scoring.
Another
Be another thing.
kettle of fish. Yeah.
Over to Spain for the match that stole round of 16, honestly, for obvious reasons. Some higher scoring encounters, but definitely in terms of the weighting of the two teams, one of the more exciting clashes in the match week. Real Madrid 3, that's right. Manchester City 0. City leaving themselves with many rivers to cross and many mountains to climb, man. Trust me, if they had to reach the Champions League quarterfinals, they fell 3 goals. Dapi, I saw a status from you during the game. Gunman on the loose!
Gunman.
That dangerous. Left foot, right foot. Watch yourself. Federico Valverde with an inspired performance in 22 minutes, putting Manchester City to the sword. And what's crazy about it, I said it earlier, we were talking. He didn't even score a Valverde goal. Because we know he have a rocket on him. We know he could put it into the top corner. We know he could hit it from distance. We know he could generate a lot of power. But the technical quality of these goals, man. I mean, no Mbappe. You in the Champions League last 16, obviously not, the best season in terms of the narratives, sacked a coach and so forth, but this is a all-time midfielder performance, Shabo.
Yeah, there's so many ways that we could tackle this game, and could probably take up a half hour here, just discussing it. But to keep things as simple as possible, that was a team effort and emphasis on team. Every single player in a starting 11 that had on a white shirt fought and ran every single blade of grass on the Santiago Bernabeu yesterday. And it was a sight to behold because we haven't had a game where we've seen the team exert this sort of togetherness and wholesome for some time, if we're being quite honest. Right? And that was just emphasized and put on a plate that this is Madridismo. This is what being a Madrid player means in the Champions League. Just look at the way Valverde celebrated every single one of his goals, the way he celebrates all of his goals with the passion and the verve that he does. You mentioned that is one of the greatest UCL performances ever, like from a midfielder. Like that could be one of the greatest performances in football history. Like if we're being totally honest here, not just the goals, but everything that came with it. The defending of Doku, helping out Trent Alexander-Arnold down his side. And he played many great passes in helping us to escape pressure. So no words for the type of performance that we put on.
Daffy, he has, not to let him steal the show, but obviously with the match ball going home with him, he's definitely done it. He's joined some exquisite company. Chabo, who they sit down next to right now?
Lionel Messi and Robert Lewandowski. Robert
terms of
Lewandowski
players.
and Lionel Messi.
To net 3 goals before halftime.
This is a midfielder. This is not a number 10. This is a box-to-box player.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was just like the Valverde game is like, okay, as much as Shaba said it was a team performance, it was almost like I am the captain, follow my lead. This is how we walk in. You get me? Because as Shab said, he helping Trent deal with Doku. Because we know Trent can't deal with Doku. But at the same time, you're wondering how the hell he inside playing right centre back, trapping off Nico O'Reilly. And then to toes, he picking off, running, leave Nico O'Reilly going up the road.
Sprinting.
Like
Full speed.
what we looking at here?
Gas.
He on Compound V. If you know, he on Compound V.
I tell you, you see, hold on, no. I want the tweet.
It's crazy and it's funny as a compound fee and it's Valverde, but
How are the tweet?
It's superhuman.
No, I go find it.
What Valverde has been able to do, and sometimes it flies on the radar. I mean, now we look at it with
I go find it.
everything now because he scored a hat trick, but these things tend to go under the radar. What the performances he put in day to day, week to week, and this is an incredible player. I would say it's the best performance from a midfielder. I think the next closest one I could think about that has been so impactful is Gerrard against AC Milan in
The final.
the final. Big up Pretat, Thibaut Courtois, because I'm bigging up the two man. Let me say, because after Pretat made the little mistake late in the game, I don't know how Courtois put his leg there to still deflect it over the crossbar. We're talking superhuman things and we still have to talk about Thibaut Courtois. It's crazy the kind of players that we have. And in my mind, I said these types of performances aren't sustainable. But every year or every other year, Madrid tells me, something different. So credit to Arbeloa. We played patient ball because there was a time, not for say I'm dragging it on, there was a time Vinny wanted Ada to play it over the top, Oli. And I don't know if Ada didn't have the space to do it or he decided that it wasn't the right time to. After that, we played about 15, 16, 17, 18 more pass. And Valverde scored again. Vinny ended up with the ball again. Even though he didn't get it earlier and he still delivered an assist. So it was a different Madrid, and kudos to Arbeloa for the balls to play the youth in the midfield over Camavinga and the likes. Big up Dean Huijsen, because he was a baller.
Possibly his best performance since. Best performance since joining the club.
City gave him he was left wing at some points to how high he was playing. So big up Arbeloa again for having the
Paul
team.
and
Boss! Even if it's only 45 minutes, big up Paul and Mendy for a solid 45.
One general Mendy, bro.
Yeah, it was a really solid. I mean, I didn't expect it. City came out red hot. I think Doku could have punished us early. Dragging it on and no. Preach make another mistake early. But Doku dilly and dally. And
that's the difference between the best players in the world.
Yeah. I think after we got the goal, that was the end of the game for City. We really took it away from them. So credit to the whole team.
Manchester City being the face of disappointment for the Premier League in this first leg, round of 16 fixtures. No Premier League team won their first leg in to the best result. Yeah. Newcastle.
16-6.
Barca.
That's the aggregate score. English game. 16 goals conceded, 16 goals scored.
So, yeah.
This is not.
This
week result is not a testament of the quality of the two leagues. Doesn't mean that from 1 to 20, Premier League still isn't the best in the world.
Exactly.
Still the richest, and still has the best league amongst themselves.
I just want the Premier League fans to understand now that it's not in your favor. That stats and results and
money,
situations and narratives like this.
All the money
and set pieces. They can't bring this WrestleMania SummerSlam elimination tables, ladders, matches, and chairs inside the game. UCL ain't playing them games, them games ain't playing on set pieces. Go do them thing in the Premier League. UCL ain't playing them games. The referee calling them stuff. So when you feel like you go rough house the keeper,
man like
the Prem and ref calling them taking the UCL, so all ain't getting it to all like in at all with them.
Jolinton getting lad next week. For them all them kick the pan my soldier Pedri. You getting lad. Speaking of next week, let's just talk quickly about the chances. I ain't want too much. I just want who you got. Simple. Sporting and Bodo. Boy. But I will say though, Sporting at home.
I know. And if they get back Pedro, Gonzalez or Gonzalez.
Yeah,
Right.
Gonzalez.
And drink out upon it.
Yeah, if they, because I think they lack some creative quality in that game and they got caught on the ball a lot. But
I could see Bodo getting a result though.
yeah,
At the Emirates, Arsenal, Bayer Leverkusen.
Arsenal.
Comfortable
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
It'll be better, right? No ball. We know Arsenal fans. We know, bro, a whole meltdown them man done ready for Arteta and this and that.
Comfortable
Just
Arsenal.
take time. Calmer. Staying in England and staying in London. Staying in not London. Chelsea, PSG,
PSG.
firepower.
Yeah, PSG. PSG.
Firepower. Staying in England.
No remontada.
Manchester City versus Real. Is it over?
There will be no remontada.
I can't see we coming out of the Etihad without a goal.
No remontada. Madrid to advance.
True. Staying with a Spanish team in the fixture and an English team in the fixture, but heading to Spain. New Camp, Barca, Newcastle.
Boban scoring again. Barcelona, Boban scoring.
Fence slips.
Both teams will score again.
Fence slips.
Barca will advance.
Fence slips. Our clean sheet in the camp. Fence slips.
Bayern
Atlanta is over. It's over.
Atlanta going? They going?
No, yeah, they're going to.
They're going?
Germany. Yeah, they're going to Germany.
Okay.
They take 6 at home.
I think
That
they've been staying.
No.
That waste of flight money and
Take
thing.
6 at home.
Waste of flight and thing, bro.
Hold your belly. Liverpool hosting Galatasaray. Anfield, Magic.
Yeah,
Nights at Anfield.
Pool to edge it.
Yeah.
I could see this going
Extra time.
but Liverpool coming out on
2-1.
top somehow, or even penalties. A close encounter at Anfield.
All right. Staying in England once again. Tottenham, Atleti.
Just make the fans happy, Spurs. They asking you to come out and win 3-0. As much as that's what they want, as much as that's what they would like, just come out and put a respectable performance, competitive, so the fans then could get some belief in our like running into the end of the season. I don't believe Spurs would come out of the tie, but I just hoping for a competitive match and a respectable performance from True.
I'm making a special appeal. Please, Diego Simeone. Please. Don't get in the pessimistic thing now and gone over there. I mean, I go like for see some harm ball and just frustrate them. But
That's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, he can't go there and play negative.
all right. That wraps up though an exciting week in the UEFA Champions League. Lots of action in the first leg of these round of 16 games. We're looking forward to next week Tuesday, next week Wednesday,
Favorite time.
when there will be some interesting clashes for sure. Considering all the playing Tuesday, all the best. And I know you'll be watching on Wednesday. Man, the match dog, send him money. All right. I know for sure, Shaba, you got your man of the match. I could take a wild guess.
Yeah.
But fully deserving. Who you got?
Yeah, Mr. Valverde, became the first Uruguayan player to score a hat-trick in the UEFA Champions League era, joins Walter Pandiani as the only other Uruguayan to achieve a treble in the competition's history. He's also only the second Madrid midfield player to score a hat-trick in the UEFA Champions League / European Cup. The last player to do so did that in 1968. He matched his entire UCL goal tally as well in that game because he only scored 3 before that. Right? And he's the 4th Real Madrid player to score a hat-trick before halftime in Europe after Ferenc Puskas, Hector Real, and Kylian Mbappe. So not even the great Cristiano Ronaldo scored a first half hat-trick in the Champions League for Madrid. So just think about the magnitude of what Valverde achieved yesterday. That was an all-time performance.
Dappy. It's not great for me because, this is one of my GOATs records. Well, not necessarily record, but, his position in the all-time record is dropping. Peekaboo. I just put them boogers in my chain. Peekaboo. 80 pointers like a Kobe game. Well, I guess you all say 80 pointers like a
Bam.
like a bomb game. Bam Adebayo. How much?
83 points. Listen to this, bro. Over his 4-7 seasons, he attempted 23 3-pointers. He only made 2. Last night before, he attempted 22. He makes 7. Right? He had 31 points in the first quarter. That's
Nice.
the most in a Heat. In Heat franchise, knocking off LeBron record. 43 by halftime, smashing his personal best of 41.
41.
He put 19 up in the third, 10, Kobe 62. That's the most.
For Heat.
After 3 quarters.
After 3
Yeah,
quarters.
for and that was the most. I think when he got past 60, it was the most for Heat.
Heat.
For Heat player.
Set the record for most free throws 36, most attempted 43. The old record been 28 and 39. Set another record for the most points in a quarter for Heat, in a half for Heat, and in a game for the NBA. Big up Bam. If you combine his best 2 games, 41 and 38,
It do add up to
Okay.
83.
don't add up to 83. 83 points, surpassed Kobe Bryant's record at 81 game in 2006, leaving only Wilt's 100-point game that we never see
Fair?
ahead of him in history.
Fair.
So this
We
is
see
the
all 83
this is
points.
the highest scoring, televised, scoring game in.
What you say? Considering we see it. Maybe the 100 point possible.
I feel Wembley could knock the 100 points off.
If Bam could do that.
Bro,
No disrespect.
no disrespect to Bam. I mean, if I reach 31 points in the first quarter, I don't know something on here. I don't know I on like Khan, bro. You get me? I hit 43 in the second, by the second half. I don't know something cooking 62. People vex because he reached 70 how much, and then they force it now, basically.
That was gonna be my point, personally.
I mean, bro. So if I do go for it,
No. Fair.
you get me? It been ugly. That's fair. I could understand people's point, but I want the record.
Okay, so that was gonna be my exact point. From a let me say basketball logic, like a basketball lover, a basketball purist lover point of view, that those were not 83 ethical points. It will count in history. It will be the second highest score behind Wilt. It will be more than Kobe, right? But those weren't 83 ethical points, and let me tell you why. They were up by 20, right? Keep in mind, Kobe 81 points being in the heat of a game that was on the line, right? The game was in the balance. Heat were up by 20 plus, right? So the game was long gone. Because now if Bam went and got injured or something, the conversation would have been way different. Oh, why didn't you pull Bam out of the game? Yada yada. Why you chasing records? They were up and fouling the other team basically to get back, so they could get back possession, so Bam could get more opportunities to shoot. So just the way that he got to the points was not ethical if you love basketball from a pure point of view. That's not something that you would like. And I'm not even a Kobe stan like that to say, oh, I'm so upset that he overtook Kobe record. Records are there to be broken, right? Congrats to Bam Adebayo nonetheless for the record, because getting 83 points in this modern NBA, if Steph Curry never do it, if Luka Doncic never do it, nobody would ever think Bam Adebayo out there, everybody. A nice player, a very, very good player, right? But he's not even the best offensive player on the Heat. You check man like Norman Powell and them who does get more shots than Bam Adebayo. So
all them man been out.
So
he been
that makes even more sense. So credit to Bam Adebayo, and that's a piece of history that we witnessed.
Yeah,
I mean, even more history on top of the stats he gave us earlier, Dappy. He set new NBA single game records for both free throws made, that's 36, and free throws attempted, that's 43. So not pretty for the purists at all, especially in the way that they got some of those free throws.
As them record, like those records, I always saw them on 2K, especially like, who the hell gonna break them there? Like when when what will cause a game,
to be like that.
To be like that, man, get 40 something free throw attempts. It's crazy.
I guess we could see it now. I mean, according to to your credit, it almost sets a pathway for if players want to attempt it. You can see how it might be possible. He also became the first player in the NBA's play-by-play era since about 96-97 when me and Shabba then come out to score 40 plus points in both halves, 43 in the first and 40 in the second.
Crazy.
43 in the first and 40 in the second, right? Yeah, this last one. He improved his previous career high, which is 41, by 42 points. And that's the largest single game scoring improvement in NBA history. So basically, in each half of this game, he went past his career high, which is 43, and he was just one shy of his career high in the second half on 40. So he basically did all time for his career, each half in this game. Special performance. So those are our men of the match. Federico, Valverde, Bam, Adebayo, football, basketball, some amazing performances. And, we could shout out to Boomer and Samson as well on a job well done winning the T20 World Cup. So that brings us to the end of today's episode of Global Sports Caribbean Perspective. Time flies when you're having fun and talking about the best games, the best teams, the best players, and giving you the best takes on global sports, all from a Caribbean perspective. Remember, right here at GSCP, we turn passion into purpose. We encourage you to join our community. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and let's get these conversations going. We'll be back with more for you, so stay tuned on GSCP.
Global.